Hey everyone, welcome back to Lazy Cat Reactions. So this is going to be episode 14 of season 11 of Heartland, titled Past Imperfect. Events at her reunion leave Lou in an introspective mood. Someone breaks into Amy and Ty's home. Georgie tells Adam about Wyatt, which I don't really know why Georgie feels she needs to tell Adam since they broke up. It's not his business, but maybe it's because Adam and Wyatt actually end up becoming friends. But someone breaks into Amy and Ty's home. So someone breaks into the loft. So that is not going to be cool. I get the feeling that it's going to be someone that they know, looking for something specific. But maybe not. Maybe it's a new character, but someone breaking in their home. Like someone literally walking into the barn, breaking in, going up to the loft. That's why I think it's going to be someone that they know, someone that knows that they live up there. And maybe not, maybe it's just someone randomly looking to steal stuff, and they're like, oh, let's go up these stairs and then discover a home up there. We'll find out. But I have a feeling that that's targeted, which means it's someone I know. And I wish that we were seeing a little more of Ty. I guess in a way this is kind of a bit of a hint that he's going to be leaving soon, because Graham Wardle isn't as involved as he was, which is too bad, I know I'm definitely going to be sad after he's gone. At the time of this recording, there has not been confirmation of a season 17, but if there is a season 17, then, watching like seasons 15 and 16 and possibly 17 without Graham Wardle, I think is going to be hard, because he's been such a staple. But yeah, you'll notice starting about season 10, he started to be less involved in the show. So I'm guessing maybe it was health issues, maybe it was something else. I'm guessing he just kind of wanted to start doing his own thing. Which again is too bad, because Ty has been such a integral part of the show and there since day one. But let's get started. Jordan and Phoenix back. My cat is watching birds. Her head keeps turning, going from one window to the other. Apparently there's birds out this window because she's watching. Alright. Is this the same person who took pictures? It's a man.
Next, we were kissing. Wow. Okay, have you chatted about it? No, that's the thing. Not a word. Okay.
That guy, the bald guy, the bald guy. Keep your eye on that bald guy because he looked over. I mean, could have been someone targeting from Mongolia, maybe. Keep your eye on that bald guy, though. It's probably not him.
But he's like a coward, then yes.
Coward.
Okay.
Why do you have to break his heart?
You can't seriously believe that he's been pining over you all of these years. No, I just
Got some stuff on our screen. I'm seeing some splashes of something.
What is going on with this, Scott?
Scott should regret it, because he told Ty, after the plane crash, that he regretted breaking up with Lou. And I'm thinking you should regret it. That was a bonehead move. And she's also, Lou's like, I don't want to break his heart again, which obviously means that she doesn't want to do anything. And I'm like, why not? You obviously have feelings for Scott. You did have feelings for Scott. Lou jumps from guy to guy, I swear to God. Like, there was Carl, then there was Scott, then there was the Mountie, was it Mike? That was a rebound. And then there was Peter. And then after Peter, there's Mitch, who's still kind of off and on. And now she's like returning to Scott or something. And it's like, make up your damn mind. She says that she wants, still wants, her independence and stuff, but really she doesn't. She wants to be with someone. I think that she's kind of like a serial monogamous, that she feels like she has to be with someone, given the way she is, how she kind of bounces from guys to guys. I mean, when she's with a guy, she does pretty much seem committed, you know? Like, she married Peter. She and Peter seem to be good. Peter, unfortunately, is kind of the one who, well, I don't want to say he's the one who ended it, because I think she ended it. But his behavior was a factor, you know, choosing his career over the family was a reason, you know. But I mean, she was committed. She didn't cheat on him, you know, at least not until the marriage was over. And you know, now there's Mitch is on and off. So yeah, it's kind of like she goes from one guy to the next. Like, she can't be without one is kind of what it seems like, which is not necessarily a good thing or a good role model for your kids. You know, she should teach Georgie to be independent and that she doesn't need a man, and if she spends time alone, that's perfectly fine. But it doesn't seem like she's doing that.
So, tell me about the vehicle. It was an SUV, a dark color, blue, black, maybe. I only saw it from the yard and then it just drove away. You think it's in the area, and chances are it was just a random hit. Wow.
No.
Thanks for looking into it. I appreciate it. Of course.
Not if you're being watched.
See that, all right.
Okay, grab some stuff. You guys are staying here tonight. I am not letting someone scare me out of my home. Amy, you can't be serious. I am. Love you.
Love you.
Yeah. So now we're getting the idea, something about the flash drive. I wonder if he actually knows, because they said the bag was cut open and stitched shut again. So it might be that Ty doesn't know that someone stuck something in there without his knowledge, which is what I'm guessing. But Ty might know, because obviously he recognized that guy as one of the poachers, one of the bad guys who held them captive. But that's a long way to go to track down a flash drive. And, you know, Georgie and Olivia are kind of like Amy and Ashley. At least how they were at first. You know, Ashley was kind of like the frenemy, the I'm better than you person. You know, they did end up eventually overcoming their differences and becoming friends. But, yeah, Olivia's kind of the Ashley Stanton of Georgie's time. And, you know, Amy mentioned about she feels like their home was violated. And it's like, it technically was. You know, when someone breaks in and disturbs the privacy of your home, I mean, that's why your home is supposed to be safe and private, you know, why you feel safe at home, because it's your home. It's where, you know, you create memories. It's where you sleep, where you eat, you know. For me, where I film. And yeah, you don't want anything to disrupt that. That's your private space. And when someone does violate that, yeah, it's gonna shake you up. And then, you know, I like seeing some of the flashbacks, like some flashbacks we saw of her with Scott, and then, you know, like her with Lou with Peter, and kind of the fighting, and Peter saying, you know, I will do whatever it takes. Because I remember that, because that was what, season 7, season 8? And I was just like, because I remember her saying, you know, where was he a year ago? You know, because unfortunately by that point she had kind of started on her own and moved on. But if Peter had said that a year prior, she would have been like, okay, let's go ahead and fix our marriage. I still think that they should have worked, because again, they never talked to a marriage counselor. And I still think they could have made it work, but it is what it is, unfortunately.
I just want the backpack you stole from me. I didn't steal anything. It fell off the truck when you drove off and left us for dead.
He's got Lammy.
Relax. I have no intention of hurting anyone.
Really?
As soon as I get...
I'll do what you want.
Yeah, I thought as much.
Mm-hmm.
until later then.
I'd be like, don't threaten me, asshole. This won't work out for you. I can have the cops on your ass in 5 seconds. We found one in the lining because we kind of broke into it. And who does that? And then they go out and they try to look at it, and I'm like, that's not even your business. And yeah, I gave you the bag, but I would think that you would find the flash drive and be like, well, I'm going to give this back to Ty. I'm not going to look at it. But yeah, the guy doesn't really want the backpack. He just wants the flash drive. And if Ty can give him the flash drive, then he'll be happy with that. I do like how he said, relax, I'm not going to hurt them. And I'm like, oh, really? But you are going to threaten to hurt them. And if you threaten to hurt them, it means you could at some point. But I kind of agree with Lou. She does wreck her relationships. I mean, Amy's right. It is give and take. Peter did make some mistakes too. But you guys know, I've commented that yes, Peter should have been there more. But I think that Lou was being pretty unfair. Like what Peter was saying. Her making the decision to buy a house without talking to him, or doing that specialist when it wasn't necessary. Lou, I thought, was kind of unfair. And I think she felt she was unfair, that she felt she had to do it because Peter wasn't around a lot because of the job. But she was being unfair, I think that she should have, like I said, why the hell, when the whole thing with Vancouver happened, why the hell didn't they make plans that she come up and stay with him for a bit of time? Why was it always him having to return to Heartland whenever he could? She would say, oh, I have a business to run. Well, so what? That's why you hire people to run your business. She could have gone up to Vancouver. She could have, done like a week every month or so. If they're going to work, they're going to be separate. She heads up, stays with them for a week, comes back. Then maybe a week or two later, he comes back. They could have done other things to make the marriage work. So yes, they are both at fault. But I feel that Lou was exceptionally harsh. I felt like she didn't give so much as she took, like she wanted to kind of take, kind of hit him every chance, and it was unfair. Peter could have done some things differently, yes, but so could Lou, and she should have. And this is coming from someone who's been involved with her guy for 22 years.
I thought it was password protected.
I bypassed authentication. Got into the back door.
Well, I better get going. You guys are almost finished here, right?
How much you want to bet Adam saved a copy?
Sure, he'll be fine. Just get packed up and head out, okay?
That's unlike Ty.
What was that about? What was that?
Well, unless he saw that the stitching was different. But the little mobile or something that he had for Lindy, obviously, some dead stuff, which isn't anything good. And I'm like, oh, so you say that they're safe, but yeah, you're okay with threatening them? How is that any better? And I'm thinking, and dude, you really don't want to fuck with Jack. Like, Jack is very, very, my foot is falling asleep now. Jack is very protective of his family. You do not want to fuck with Jack. Jack will kick your ass. So where you can knock that gun out of his hand? Maybe not, but... Good job! There you go. Don't forget, Ty's a fighter. Oh, great. Oh, shit. Oh, okay, good. Good, good.
You were pretty worked up about that whole Jane thing.
I wasn't that worked out.
Yes, you were.
Okay. I admit I had a couple too many.
Wow.
I made so many.
She seemed kind of surprised that he was agreeing.
So you were right.
Remy just running by. Hi. Yeah, you know, I said that same thing. Oh, good, we are finally going to have a Thanksgiving episode. It took them 11 seasons. I said that same thing. That's the thing with Lou is she gets out of one relationship and she rebounds. And that's really what Mitch was. You know, she said, I jumped into it way too early after my breakup with Peter. Yes, you did. You know, if she had not wanted to get involved and given time, you never know. She and Peter might have gotten back together. Because when Peter, you know, tried to get her back, she might, if she just hadn't, you know, tried like anything with Mitch or whatnot, she might have been like, yeah, let's do it. And maybe she and Peter would have gotten back together and stayed. I'm still a bit salty about that. But, you know, she says, well, I need to be on my own. And I'm like, yeah, you said that before. You said that after the breakup with Peter, and then you basically immediately jumped in with Mitch. So I think Mitch stays because I do think they eventually do develop an actual relationship. But, yeah, she does need to have some time for herself. Because as I said, she kind of is like a serial monogamist. She just kind of bounces from relationship to relationship. Carl to Scott to, I want to say his name was Mike, to Peter to Mitch, you know. That's a lot of men. And granted, of course, you could say it's been over 11 years, but she was married to Peter for what, like 4 of those years? So in that, like, 7 years, there's been, and there were a couple other men, I think, that she went out with. It just didn't really work out. But yeah, it's just like she definitely needs to be by herself, focus on her business, the girls, the family, herself, and really think about what she wants. And there's nothing wrong with her being by herself for a bit. Thank you for joining me for episode 14. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit the like button and subscribe for more content. And follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Support me on Buy Me a Coffee if you can. I hope you have a great day, a week, and a great week. I all of a sudden cannot talk. I will see you for episode 15. Bye.